Before we start, be sure to subscribe because we bring simple explanations of the biggest global events happening right now. What if a single conflict in the Middle East could impact global oil prices, international politics, and the safety of millions of people across the region? Over the past few days, tensions in the Middle East have risen dramatically with military activity, political warnings, and growing fears of a larger regional conflict. Governments across the world are now watching the situation closely, as every new development could shape the future of the region. Recent events have placed the Middle East back in the global spotlight. Reports suggest that military operations targeting strategic infrastructure have taken place, focusing mainly on defense systems and missile capabilities. Officials say these actions were intended to weaken military threats and prevent further attacks against allied nations. However, these operations have also increased fears that the situation could escalate into a wider regional conflict if tensions continue to grow. Across several countries, security forces have been placed on high alert. Air defense systems are actively monitoring the skies as authorities prepare for possible missile or drone activity. In some areas, explosions have been reported and emergency teams have quickly responded to secure affected buildings and provide assistance to civilians. Governments in the region have urged residents to stay informed and follow official safety guidance while the situation continues to develop. Growing regional tensions. The growing tension is not limited to just one country. Neighboring nations are also becoming increasingly concerned as the conflict risks spreading across borders. Several governments have increased their security presence around key cities, airports, and strategic infrastructure. Military officials say these measures are meant to protect civilians and maintain stability while diplomatic discussions continue behind the scenes. At the same time, international observers are warning that misunderstandings or miscalculations could easily escalate the situation when multiple countries are involved in a tense environment. Even a small incident can quickly trigger a larger reaction. This is why many world leaders are emphasizing caution and encouraging all sides to avoid further escalation. Impact on civilians and cities. For people living in the region, the uncertainty is deeply concerning. Families are closely following news updates while local authorities work to maintain order and security. In some cities, residents have reported hearing loud explosions or seeing air defense systems intercepting incoming threats in the sky. Emergency crews remain on standby to respond to any incidents and assist communities if needed. Despite the tense atmosphere, many communities are continuing their daily lives while hoping that the situation will calm down. Businesses remain open in many areas, although security checks and precautionary measures have increased. Governments are also issuing travel advisories and warning citizens to remain cautious. Global economic concerns. Beyond the immediate security concerns, the situation is also creating anxiety in global markets. One of the most important areas being closely monitored is the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway plays a crucial role in global energy trade because a large portion of the world's oil supply passes through it every day. If shipping routes in this area are disrupted, energy markets around the world could feel the impact almost immediately. Oil prices tend to rise quickly whenever uncertainty threatens supply routes. Higher oil prices often lead to higher fuel costs for consumers, which can affect transportation, manufacturing, and overall economic stability. Because of this, governments and financial analysts around the world are carefully watching every development in the region. Shipping companies are also reviewing their routes and security measures to ensure the safety of cargo and crews traveling through the area. Diplomatic efforts and international response. While military forces remain on alert, diplomats are working behind the scenes to reduce tensions. International organizations and world leaders are urging dialogue and negotiation as the best path forward. Many experts believe that diplomacy remains the most effective way to prevent the situation from turning into a prolonged conflict. Several countries have already called for calm and are encouraging all sides to return to negotiations. The goal is to reduce hostilities and find solutions that can bring stability back to the region. Diplomatic efforts often take time, but they remain a crucial tool for preventing further escalation. What could happen next? Experts say the coming weeks will likely be critical. The situation could move in several different directions depending on how governments respond and whether diplomatic efforts succeed. If tensions decrease, negotiations could open the door to a more stable regional environment. However, if military actions continue to increase, the conflict could expand and draw more countries into the situation. Because of this uncertainty, many governments are closely monitoring events and preparing contingency plans. Security officials are also working to ensure that civilians remain protected and that critical infrastructure remains operational. Conclusion. For now, the world is watching the Middle East carefully as events continue to unfold. The region has always played a major role in global politics, energy markets, and international security. Every new development has the potential to influence not only the countries directly involved, but also economies and communities around the world. While the situation remains tense, many people are hoping that diplomacy and careful decision-making will help prevent further escalation. The coming days and weeks will be important in determining whether tensions begin to ease or whether the conflict continues to grow. One thing is certain: the decisions made now could shape the future of the region for years to come.